Yeah. So our team is very like rich in people who have like done some kind of meditation or experiential practice where the content of it is, people have different backgrounds, but the content of it is always the same, which is you pay close attention to like the content of your awareness. Like there's all this like sensations that arise, like thoughts are a sensation, reflecting on a thought is a sensation, that itch on your butt is a sensation, like everything's a sensation. Like because you're aware of it, it's like it's a piece of content. And you pay close attention to that without reaction, without trying to change it, without needing it to be this way or that way, without trying to make it go away. Like you just like your intention is about being attentive to it. There's a bunch of different ways you do that, but that's the substance of it. And when you do this, you basically give your brain contrastive learning data, where you have a lot of data in your life where you have an understanding of the world conditioned on trying to fix or change things, where you notice something and then you want to move towards it or away from it, or like fix it or change it when you notice it, or where you repress it, or you need to make it, you need to soothe yourself about it, you need to be okay. And like you're just getting the contrastive data set training, the contrastive training data that's sort of like, yeah, but like, okay, I know that you need to do those things, but what if we just like for an experiment for like 20 minutes a day, we just sat in a calm, quiet room where like evidently you obviously don't actually have to act immediately. So like, what if we just didn't act for a while? Just try that for a while every day. And it turns out when you do this, you notice that you're the little kid with the controller that you think is playing the video game, and it's like not plugged into the TV. Like a bunch of things it's kind of plugged into the TV, but like not really. Like a lot of the things you assumed were like the result of your action, or result of you like self-soothing, or the result of some internal or external motion. No, that was going to happen anyway. Nothing you did make any difference. It's totally that's just fine. And the result of that is that you notice that like basically your world model gets a lot sharper. You realize that like some things I do really do matter. Like it is important that like if I don't do that, this result really won't happen. If you're sitting on your ankle and it's starting to fall asleep and you just keep sitting on it, it's going to hurt more and more and more until it doesn't hurt, and then it's going to get really really numb. Like that's not in your imagination. That's like you aren't theorizing incorrectly that those things are going to be conditioned on your actions. But a lot of stuff isn't like that. A lot of stuff, if you don't do it, it's totally fine. And when this realization goes really deep, and you start to notice it not about direct, sensation stuff like, itches or whatever, but you start to notice it about like ideas you have about like, I need to take care of making sure that person shows up on time, or they won't show up on time. Have you tested that theory? Do you have any contrastive training data about what happens if you don't make sure? I need to soothe this person's emotional hurt. I need to drive myself with anxiety, or I won't do the thing. That might be true. Have you tested the theory? Some people do need to drive themselves that way. Sometimes, at least without other motivation. Have you tested this theory? And when you start to test the theory, what you realize is that sometimes you were right, sometimes you were wrong, and it just echoes out over your whole life, and it's just this massive increase in the precision of your beliefs, the accuracy and precision of your beliefs about when you need to act and when you don't. And the reason why this experience is important is like, well, you should do this. It makes your life better. Like if you haven't ever done it, you have a lot of low-hanging fruit in terms of what you think you need to do that you actually your controller is not plugged in. Sorry, that's an illusion. Not all of it, but a lot of it. But the important thing, meta thing about noticing this is that it's possibly very competent and very, very effective while totally deluded. Your beliefs about things that are not directly tied to your actions and your future observations can support almost arbitrary levels of delusion. If it's not in the loop, the trajectory that you go on over and over again, the fact that you think you have to act to make it work this way can be arbitrarily wrong, because and because it all is compatible with a life where you are living and maybe even thriving, you can support arbitrary levels of delusion with arbitrary levels of success. This should terrify you if you work on AI. It means no matter how good your AI gets at succeeding at whatever evals you've created or whatever things, it could be arbitrarily wrong about reality. And in fact, not only can it be, I think inevitably will be, unless you go through a systematic process of waking the AI up effectively, of allowing the AI to do whatever the first AI meditation is. I don't think it's like human meditation, but like there's something that is equivalent to allowing the AI to learn to perceive in its own experience what it's like when it doesn't try to achieve its goals, and to notice the degree to which its future observations are. There's this question: how much am I doing it, and how much is it the world? Mm-hmm. And this is both about what I perceive externally and what I perceive internally. Mm-hmm. And just like your beliefs about both of those things are just like completely wrong, like very, very diluted. And you can make them somewhat less diluted over time by like doing things that are kind of like meditation.